Hey there, thanks for joining us. Today we are securing my dogs because one of them has already run off and I had to go get him. We're going to put together our dog kennel, and this is the one that was living in the garage there in Washington to keep the dogs overnight and keep them from getting into things like gas cans and chainsaws. So it's really simple to build these. I think it is called a retriever dog kennel. We got it at the Tractor Supply, and it's expandable. You can buy more panels. And here I've put up one panel and realized my mistake and took that down in place of a door panel, which we bought extra. There are 2 door panels there. And all you do is you put these brackets on. They just take a nut and a bolt that comes with the brackets, 2 brackets per connection point, and it's pretty strong. Tighten it up with a socket. I ended up using a 17 millimeter socket, but I think I actually wanted a 5/8 inch. I just didn't have a 5/8 inch. All right, let's get that cardboard out of the way. Now this is a piece of a cattle panel that I was using for a trellis there in Washington, and Brock cut it in half for me so that I could transport it, and we're using it as a roof. The roof is really important because dogs need shade, they need protection from the rain, and they're going to live in this at night. This is kind of a temporary measure, just until I can get a bigger area for them, because they'll need room to run where they can be secured. But I've tied the cattle panel up with wire from rebar ties. So it'll stay on there. And now my dogs were barking at something, I don't know what. They seemed distressed. I think they didn't like the sound of the tarp going on. I really struggled with that tarp, and if I wasn't so lazy, I'd have gotten a ladder and climbed a ladder and put it on top and then unfolded it. But being lazy causes more work. Now I'm again using some of those wire ties from the rebar to secure that up, and I'm just tying the grommets to the cattle panel. And I'll use some bungee cords to keep things out of the way. And with that overhang there, the dogs get shade no matter where the sun is. So they'll always have shade. And I wasn't really planning on doing it that way. I was trying to make it more like kind of like a covered wagon. But this awning works out really well in late afternoon. And the next thing that we want to do is enclose the dog kennel with a screen. And I'll end up having to move that tarp a little bit before I can put the screen on, but you'll see me doing that here soon. Okay, so I have 6-foot roll of screen. That's 6 foot wide, and it's 25 feet long, and that's a problem because I have 30 feet of cage to go around. But I'm tying the screen on, starting there at the corner, using more of the ties, the wire from the rebar. And then here I've cut straight down and made an opening for the door, reposition the screen so that when I open and close the door, the screen overlaps there. Sorry about the plastic over the camera. That will get fixed here shortly. I'm just trying to protect the camera. Anyway, just securing it to the door of the kennel and continuing on around. And it's really simple. And you would think that just throwing some screen around probably wouldn't be good enough. But believe it or not, it's making a difference inside the dog's kennel, even though it's not perfect. There I go. I had to lift up that tarp a little bit and going around. And just securing it. I really like the hyperlapse on the camera. I don't have to sit through a bunch of nonsense. It just keeps moving. Okay. And so I ran out of screen, and temporarily I put up a blue tarp on that one open end. And that's probably a good thing, because that blue tarp actually gives more shade in the morning. Although maybe the dogs would want sunlight in the morning. I don't know. But the blue tarp helps. I did go into town, went to the hardware store while I was in town, and they had screen, but it was only 4 feet wide, and you buy it by the foot instead of the roll. So what I was hoping for is that I could just get another roll, and I can't do that. Now I do have some screen somewhere still in the utility trailer packed up that I bought specifically for fixing the screens in the travel trailer. And I don't remember, it's definitely not 6 feet wide, but it may be enough for the screens for the utility trailer, plus adding more screen to their kennel. So hopefully that'll help with the mosquitoes and still give them sunlight in the morning, as that blue tarp side actually faces east, and so they could get morning sun up until the point that we move into the tiny home. All right, so that's it. That's how I put together the retriever dog kennel from Tractor Supply and enclosed that kennel so that my dogs are protected from rain and mosquitoes. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you next time.